Hello and welcome to our channel. We're going to tell you a story. My name is Emily. I am 25 years old. Today, I want to tell you a story that is not peaceful. It is a story that shook my world. A story that I still carry in my heart. I do not tell this story often. It is heavy, like a stone on my chest. But maybe if I share it, someone out there will learn something. Maybe someone will understand me. Maybe someone will feel less alone. I grew up in a small town. My family was not rich, but we had enough. My father worked as a driver, and my mother stayed at home to take care of me and my younger brother, Daniel. We lived in a tiny house with 2 rooms. Life was simple. I was not the most beautiful girl in school. I was shy and often quiet. But I loved books. I loved reading stories because they made me feel like I could escape my little town and see the whole world. When I turned 18, I finished school. I wanted to go to college, but money was always a problem. My father told me, "Emily, maybe later. First, you should work and help the family." So, I started working at a small shop. I sold clothes and sometimes helped customers choose what to wear. The pay was not much, but I wanted to help. One day, while I was working at the shop, I saw someone who would change my life forever. His name was Michael. He was tall, with dark hair and eyes that looked both kind and mysterious. He came to buy a shirt, but he stayed longer than usual. "Do you like your job?" he asked me. I looked at him, surprised. Customers usually asked about prices, not my feelings. "It is okay," I said with a small smile. "It pays the bills." He laughed softly. "You deserve more than just okay." That sentence stayed in my mind. Nobody had ever spoken to me like that before. Michael started coming to the shop often. Sometimes he bought something, sometimes he only talked. Slowly, we became friends. At first, I didn't want to get too close. My mother always warned me, "Emily, be careful with strangers. Not everyone has good intentions." But Michael seemed different. He listened to me. He asked about my dreams. He even encouraged me to think about college again. One evening, he walked me home after work. The sky was pink, and the air was quiet. He stopped and said, "Emily, I think you are special. I want to be in your life, if you let me." My heart raced. Nobody had ever said such words to me. I was scared, but I also felt alive. So, I let him in. I let him into my world, into my heart. The next few months were the happiest of my life. Michael took me to places I had never seen before, cafes, parks, and even a big library in the city. He told me stories about his own life. He said he worked in business and often traveled. I admired him. He was confident, while I was shy. He was bold, while I was careful. Sometimes, I wondered, why me? Why would a man like him choose a simple girl like me? When I asked, he said, "Because you are real, Emily. You are not like the others." I believed him. But slowly, things started to change. Michael became busy. Sometimes he did not answer my calls. Sometimes he cancelled our plans at the last minute. I told myself it was normal. He had work. He had responsibilities. But my heart felt uneasy. One night, he promised to meet me at the park. I waited for 2 hours, but he never came. My phone stayed silent. I went home with tears in my eyes. The next day, he came to the shop with flowers. "I'm sorry, Emily," he said. "Work was too much. Please forgive me." And I forgave him. Because love makes us blind. Love makes us hope, even when we should doubt. One evening, I was walking home from work when I saw Michael. But he was not alone. He was with another woman. She was tall, elegant, and wore expensive clothes. They looked close, too close. My heart stopped. I hid behind a tree and watched. He held her hand. He laughed with her in a way I thought he only laughed with me. I wanted to scream, but no sound came out. I wanted to run to him, but my legs felt frozen. When I finally walked home, I cried all night. My pillow was wet with tears. My heart felt like it had broken into 1,000 pieces. The next day, I could not stay silent. When Michael came to see me, I looked him in the eyes and said, "Who is she?" His face changed. For a moment, he looked guilty. Then he smiled, but the smile was weak. "She is just a friend," he said. But I knew he was lying. My heart told me. His eyes told me. I turned away. "Michael, do not lie to me. I saw you." You held her hand. He stayed silent. And sometimes silence is the loudest answer of all. After that day, things were never the same. I still loved him, but I could not trust him. He still came to see me, but my heart was filled with questions. Was I not enough? Was everything a lie? Why did he choose me if he already had someone else? At night, I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, asking these questions again and again. Finally, one evening, I told him, "Michael, I cannot live like this. If you love me, choose me. If you don't, then please let me go." His eyes softened, but his words cut deep. "Emily," he said slowly, "you are special. But I cannot give you what you want. I am sorry." And just like that, my world fell apart. That night, I sat alone in my room. The girl who once dreamed of love, of a better life, now felt broken. My story did not end there, but that was the night when everything changed. I will tell you the rest in part 2, because the story only gets deeper. What happened after Michael left me is something I never expected. That night when Michael told me he could not give me what I wanted, my heart broke in a way I cannot describe. I felt like I was standing in the middle of a storm, with nothing to hold on to. The person I trusted most had left me. But life does not stop when someone breaks you. The sun still rises, even when your world feels dark. The next weeks were the hardest of my life. I woke up every morning, but I had no energy to go to work. I sat in my room, staring at the walls. Food had no taste. Music had no sound. Even my books could not comfort me. My mother noticed. She touched my shoulder one evening and said, "Emily, I know you are hurting. But remember, you are strong. Do not let one person take away your whole life." I wanted to believe her, but pain is heavy. It is like carrying a bag of stones wherever you go. One afternoon, while I was working at the shop, someone came in. It was Sarah, a girl I knew from school. We were never very close, but she smiled warmly and said, "Emily, you look tired. Are you okay?" I almost said yes, but something inside me broke. I started crying, right there in the shop. Sarah hugged me and whispered, "It's okay. Sometimes we need to fall apart before we can stand again." From that day, Sarah became a light in my dark days. She visited me, talked with me, and reminded me that not everyone leaves. Slowly, I began to heal. I started reading again, not to escape, but to learn. I read about people who had lost everything but still found hope. Their stories gave me strength. One book had a line I will never forget: "When someone walks out of your life, it is not the end of your story. It is only the end of their chapter in it." I repeated those words every night before sleeping. Just when I thought I was starting to move on, something happened that shook me again. One evening, a letter came to my house. It had no name on the outside. I opened it with shaking hands. Inside, the words were simple. "Emily, I am sorry. I made mistakes. I lost something precious. Please meet me one last time. Michael." My heart raced. I did not know what to do. Part of me wanted to throw the letter away. Another part of me wanted to see him, to hear what he had to say. After a long night of thinking, I decided to meet him. Not because I wanted him back, but because I needed answers. We met at the park where we used to sit together. When I arrived, Michael was already there. He looked different, tired, almost broken. "Emily," he said softly, "I don't know where to begin. I hurt you. I lied. I thought I could have everything, but in the end, I lost you. And losing you is the biggest regret of my life." Tears filled my eyes, but I held them back. "Michael, why did you do it? Why did you choose her?" He lowered his head. "Because I was weak. Because I thought love was about excitement and beauty. But now I know, real love was standing in front of me all along you." For a moment, my heart wanted to forgive. But then I remembered all the nights I cried, all the lies, all the pain. "Michael," I said quietly, "I loved you with all my heart. But love without trust is like a house without walls. It cannot stand." He closed his eyes. A tear fell down his cheek. "I understand," he whispered. "I just wanted you to know the truth." And then, he walked away. This time, I did not run after him. After that day, something inside me changed. I realized that I had been waiting for someone else to give me value, to tell me I was special. But the truth is, I had to see it myself. I started saving money to take evening classes. I studied hard and applied to college. To my surprise, I was accepted. For the first time in years, I felt proud of myself. I was building a future not for Michael, not for anyone else, but for me. Months passed. My life was still not perfect, but it was better. I laughed with Sarah, I studied, and I even started painting again, a hobby I had forgotten. One evening, while I was walking home, I looked at the sky. The stars were bright, and the air was cool. For the first time in a long time, I felt peace. I whispered to myself, "Emily, you survived. You are stronger than you think." Now, when I look back at my story, I do not see only pain. I see lessons. I learned that not everyone who smiles at you is meant to stay. I learned that love can be sweet, but it can also be dangerous if it blinds you. I learned that sometimes the person you need most is yourself. And most of all, I learned that even after the darkest night, the sun will rise again. So here I am, 25 years old, telling you this story. A story that is not peaceful. A story that shook my world. But also, a story that gave me strength. Because even though Michael broke my heart, he also pushed me to discover myself. And that is something I will carry forever. If you are listening to my story today, maybe you are also hurting. Maybe someone broke your trust, or left you alone. I want you to know this, you will survive. Your story is not over. Like me, you will find a way to stand again. And one day, you will look back, not with sadness, but with strength. If you enjoyed this story, have you ever experienced? Share your stories with us in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories and adventures. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.